Mr. Foreperson, it's the court's understanding that the jury has reached a verdict in this matter.
That's correct.
As to charge ID 193-794-7C, charging the defendant, Adam Montgomery, with the crime of second-degree assault, do you find the defendant guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
You say that he's guilty, Mr. Foreperson?
That is correct.
So say you all, ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
Yes.
As to charge ID 202-7112C, charging the defendant, Adam Montgomery, with the crime of second-degree murder, do you find the defendant guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
You say that he's guilty, Mr. Foreperson?
That is correct.
So say you all, ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
Yes.
And as to charge ID 202-7113C, charging the defendant with the crime of falsifying physical evidence, do you find the defendant guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
You say that he's guilty, Mr. Foreperson?
That's correct.
So say you all, ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
Yes.
And on charge ID 202-7114C, charging the defendant, Adam Montgomery, with the crime of abuse of corpse, do you find the defendant guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
You say that he's guilty, Mr. Foreperson.
That's correct.
So say you all, ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
Yes.
And on charge ID 202-7115C, charging the defendant, Adam Montgomery, with the crime of tampering with witnesses and informants, do you find the defendant guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
You say that he's guilty, Mr. Foreperson.
That's correct.
So say you all, ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Yes.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for your service. You've performed an important civic duty, and that is as to the alternates as well as all the deliberating jurors. What we're going to do now is I'm going to send you back into the deliberation room. The alternates are going to be able to go back now with you. You can discuss the case with each other, so it's an opportunity for you to do that. I'm going to take a few minutes with the lawyers here, and then I will come in to discuss a couple of other matters with you further, and then you'll be released from your service. All right? Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. All rise for the jurors, please.
All right, there you go. Guilty on all counts. Adam Montgomery not there to witness it, but Crystal Sorey was there, Harmony's mother. Packed courtroom. You see Matt Johnson's there. This is the way the system works, and boy, it did work. And Julie, we were talking. Both sets of attorneys were fantastic in this case. The prosecution. Their closing was just off the charts, how impactful it was, but also the defense. I mean, the defense was given a very difficult set of cards, and
their job is what hangs
you may
everything in the balance. Let's listen to the judge.
Counsel, we just need to schedule sentencing. I don't know how much time the parties feel that they need.
We'll say we are scheduled here on Thursday the 7th of March for this stuff.
Will both sides be prepared? Actually, I don't know what the court may not have sufficient time that day, so let me just look. No, I'm actually going to be in trial that day. I have a docket in the morning, but I'm in trial after. It may be that maybe we could just get some time frame. Let me look to the state first about how long do you need to be prepared? And I'll have...
We may need to at least go a little bit of time beyond that. I would say, sorry, I'm just looking at my calendar as well.
Better not to give me a date. Just tell me about how far out and about how much time you think you'll need.
I think, Your Honor, we're going to need roughly 4 weeks, so somewhere around the last week of March, first week of April.
Okay. So sometime after April 1st. I know I'm going into a lengthy trial in April, so we'll see what we can do. About how long a hearing do you feel that you'll need?
Based upon my best estimate, Your Honor, is probably at least half the day, so at least a solid 3 hours. Would be the safest time period to go. If we use less of it, we use less.
Okay, just knowing what the court's docket is, and then I know I have a 3-week trial also in April. It may not be possible to get it in that month, but we'll do it as quickly thereafter as we can, as long as that's sufficient for the defense.
Putting us into May, certainly plenty of time.
Okay. If there are other constraints, please let the court know. Otherwise, we'll schedule it as the docket permits in sometime after April 1st. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Okay.
We have jury trials to work around, but smaller.
Okay. All right. I'm not inclined. I know the parties are preparing sentencing memos. I'm not inclined for a PSI unless somebody feels that one would be needed. No? Okay. Very good. Sentencing memos. Any sentencing memos should be in, I would say, given the time frame, if you can sentencing memos in 10 days in advance, that would be helpful to the court. That will give time for the court to consider any information, ample time to consider any information the court needs to consider. Anything else we need to accomplish today?
I think, Your Honor, just from the state's perspective, when we do have the sentencing date, we're getting closer. The state will ask under RSA 651:4-A that the defendant, whether he likes it or not, will have to be transported here for the sentencing pursuant to that statutory authority.
Okay. If you're going to file something, did you say?
File that, Your Honor.
Okay.
There's very clear statute on it, there's case law on it. We will provide that to the court ahead of time and do that in plenty of time so that the defense can respond to that before we get anywhere near that 10-day mark and the hearing.
Okay. Anything else the defense wants to raise?
Not at this time. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody.